Hello and welcome to another What Sold on eBay video. I'm your host Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. We're going to go over some of the items sold in our charity eBay shop. So definitely go down there, click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Let's get right into it. We're going to go over some of the items sold, go over some bolos, and we have a really awesome bolo at the very end, courtesy of Worth Point. We're going to take a little bit of a Worth Point deep dive on one particular bolo, so you definitely want to stay to the end of the video. So let's get right into it. First up, we have this Wendy Lockwood. This is a handmade mohair bear. Her name is Cecilia, 16 inches, as we can see here, with some suede paws. This is an amazing bear. And we've talked about mohair bears in the past. Steiff is probably one of the most well-known and collected mohair bears. There's some other ones, but pretty much Steiff is where it's at. As you can see here, here's a little tag on the, where did it go? Where did you, little tookish? As you can see here, Wendy Lockwood, 1990, Cecilia. This, I'll tell you right now, this particular bear maker is a very rare one. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be worth a ton of money. There's usually not a great market for this particular artist. Like I said, there's only a few past examples that I looked into, looking on Worth Point and Googling this particular artist. So there's not really much to go off of. This sold for $75, probably retailed for, maybe $150. I'm not exactly sure. This is handmade. It probably took hours to make. And it's just one of those things to look out for, especially Steiff bears. And I want to say I did a Steiff video, but I'm not completely sure. I'll have to go and look in the archives to see if I ever did a Steiff video. And if I didn't do a Steiff video, I'm definitely going to go and do one of those at some point. So definitely stay tuned for that. Next up, we have this sterling silver 925. This is signed Israel. Azurite stone. And that's one of the things that doing jewelry, like I'm a novice jewelry seller. We've talked about this before in the past. There's so many different gems. There's so many different stones to look out for and to know. And I don't know. There's so much to learn with jewelry. As you can see here, 925, made in Israel. Those are all important facts. Now, what's interesting about this particular piece is it's actually a pendant and it's a brooch, which I find interesting. I'm not exactly sure if it was produced this way or if at some time during this piece's history the brooch part was soldered on, or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe this was a brooch to begin with and then someone decided to put a pendant loop right here. As we can see, this sold for $34.99. Anything sterling, 925, that's what that means in the back. That means it's 92.5% silver with other kind of little tin and things in there to mix it around. Finding pure silver is very hard. As a matter of fact, like, of course, like what I mean is in jewelry. I mean, in coins, you can find 99 silver all the time. Pure silver in jewelry is kind of hard, especially when you're finding like the thicker pieces and things like that. Because silver has some unique properties, just like gold does. So you got to add a little bit of this and a little bit of that into it, so that you can actually make it durable jewelry and things like that. Usually the antique pieces are usually pure silver, but it's very rare to find, in my experience. Now, it could be different for your experience, but in my experience, finding pure silver jewelry is really, really rare. Usually it's sterling. Next up, we have this DVD. This is Mansfield Park, still selling DVDs during the crisis that is happening in our world today. Lots of people are staying home. Lots of people don't have Netflix. And actually, what's funny is I went on Netflix the other day, and there's so many movies that they just don't have. So selling brand new DVDs is something that we've instituted this year in the American Cancer Society. All the shops get them in all the time. So I've made the call out many times, and lots of stores are just sending me all their new DVDs to list. They're super easy to list. And as a matter of fact, I think I'll do a DVD video at some point of like how I list and do DVDs. They're super easy to list. It's just time consuming. I can probably do 20 an hour, maybe 30 an hour if I get into the groove and I have all my templates set up. I'm pretty sure other people can list DVDs like way faster than that. I use a USB scanner. I have all kinds of little different tips and tricks to list DVDs. But anyways, I'm just saying, once again, DVDs are something to look out for. Not every Disney Plus, Amazon, or Netflix is going to have all the movies that you want. There's a lot of these movies that are out of print, that are not digitized, that people still want physical copies. Blu-rays, of course, is the cream of the crop right now, but DVDs are still in plenty. VHS, that whole subject completely dead, and that's a whole other video in itself. Next up is another set of sterling silver 925 mark rings. Now, I put these in a lot just basically because sterling silver rings, for the most part, don't do very well individually. Sure, we could have sold them individually for $20 a piece or $12.99 or however they are, especially some of these very unique pieces. But I thought just for the sake of time, and sometimes your time is actually worth money, more money than you think. You know, we kind of write our time off as being free, but time is one of the most precious commodities we have. So as a matter of fact, I just decided I'm just going to list this whole collection. I listed it at a price where I'd be comfortable if it sold. $10 a ring. Someone got a great deal. Someone wants to resell this. More power to them. We got this collection out of our hair. On to the next thing. That's how I look at it. $140 is a pretty good collection. There's some really nice pieces in here. And like I said, I'm pretty sure someone just probably resold these all. As you can see, a different look at some of these pieces. Basically all cubic zirconian and different kind of glass and plastic stones. And this piece was really cool. And I meant to do more research on this, but that's all right. We still got some pretty good money, and there's lots of great deals to be had at the American Cancer Society eBay page. I'll leave a link below. We have a sale going on October 16th where a couple hundred listings are going to be listed, so definitely you want to mark your calendars for that. Next up, we have the Super Fight card game. We've talked about card games before in the past, especially Kickstarter editions. For those who don't know what a Kickstarter is, it's basically a company that lets different game companies or individual producers rely on the community to raise funds to back or quote-unquote kickstart a project. So that's what this came from originally. Super Fight. I have no idea what the hell this game is. I've never even heard of it. All I know is I looked it up. I saw a price where these things were kind of going around. Priced it, sold it, $34.99, $9.99 shipping, out the door, moved on to the next thing. Cards, card games, sealed card games, Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Definitely look them all up. Sometimes some of these card games are worth hundreds of dollars, especially if they're a rare popular one that they didn't really produce many of these. And usually the Kickstarter editions of different games usually go for a little bit more of a premium because they're usually a limited edition. I think like Exploding Kitties was one of them. Cards for Humanity, I think, was a Kickstarter game, and I think that's still one of the top grossing Kickstarter projects of all time. Most people have heard of Cards Against Humanity. It's the little black card with the you have to kind of mix and match the different sayings. It's kind of like an adult game, adult drinking game. Well, it's not a drinking game, but it's like an adult party game. It's not for kids, and it's kind of around the same similar kind of vein. So definitely look up card games whenever you find them. Next up, we have this costume jewelry. This is Heidi Duas. I always butcher names, and I guess I'm Chris, the butcher of names. This is a charm bracelet, hot air balloon, rose, little. Can't speak today. As you can see here, this is actually a really cool little charm bracelet, and as you can see here, Hadi. I can't even say Hadi. I say Hadi, Haiti, Duas. Oh my God. Heidi D, we'll call it. Anyways, this is what it looks like on the back. Definitely look these pieces up. As we can see, we got my handy dandy ruler here. Of course, people want to see kind of this and that. And all these little charms are actually marked with her thing. It's actually, I thought actually that for some costume jewelry with like little rhinestones and things like that, this was actually a really cool piece. Someone else thought so too. We started bids at $29.99. This ended at $30.99. This was part of our jewelry event. I want to say that was in June. No, it looks like it was June. We did like $20,000 for cancer research and the American Cancer Society. That, what was I say? Those 3 weeks maybe. There's still some pieces from that event up. As a matter of fact, like I said, we're gonna have an event pretty soon, so definitely go and save the date, October 16th. Next up is this Disney Adventures. Now, this is going to be part of our end of video Bolo, so you definitely want to stay tuned. And if you've liked this content, definitely go down there. Let me know in the comments below that you like the content. Click the like button, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. So let's get into Walt Disney Treasures. These are kind of like DVDs in tins. Now, I want to say there's maybe like 16 or 18 of these different titles. Definitely look out for these. There's some of these are worth a couple $100. Most of them are going to be in the range of 25 to 50. If you're lucky enough to find a whole collection of these at a garage sale, scoop them up as quick as you can. They're basically in these tins. You cannot miss them. They say Disney Treasures stamped right on the cover. Let's get into the Work Point DVD deep dive here. As we can see here, a whole set of these, actually 30 of them. Excuse me, I guess there's 30 of them. $1,800. There was a special set that was created at the the D23 Expo. That one goes for over $1,000. That's this basically one right here. It's basically all of them in one special packaging. I'm pretty sure that was like $600 or $700 just to buy it at the event. Here's another set of 17, $1,000. Now, there's some individual ones. I think the Disneyland one, and there is another one. Let me go down here a little bit to find out. Some of them, yeah, you could see here, some of them go for $150. There's, I think the Disneyland one is the most popular one. The Donald Duck one looks like it's doing very well. You know what I'm thinking? Like, a lot of these prices have changed over the years. I remember, like, some of them were over $100, but it looks like there's actually a good amount of them now over $100. I got to find the Disneyland one. Where are you? This is too high. I don't think it should be going above 300, though. That wouldn't surprise me. Nah, maybe the Disneyland one isn't as popular as it used to be. It looks like the Donald Duck ones are going for over $100. And there's, oh, here's the Disneyland one, Disneyland Secrets and Stories. This used to be the one that used to go for like $200. It looks like it doesn't go for that much anymore. That's kind of crazy. But a good thing is some of the other ones have gone up a lot in price. But anyways, look out for these tins. They're definitely out there. And like I said, if you enjoyed this video, definitely go down there and let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate everyone tuning in, and we will see you next time. Take care.